One of the three players that I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to go out and get has finally requested a trade, and that is none other than Myles freaking Garrett. He has officially come out and he has requested a trade from the Cleveland Browns. As you guys see right here, we're in a good spot. Browns fans are in shambles. They're sad, but a lot of them understand. Like, you know it's bad when your organization understands why you're requesting a trade and that they don't blame you. They're fine with you leaving. It's a bad situation for Cleveland, letting Baker walk out. Nick Chubb is on a contract year, turning 30 years old. They have a lot of decisions to make. They're stuck with that Deshaun Watson contract. I mean, this guy basically ruined their entire franchise. Let's go ahead and pivot to that real quick before I touch on the statement that Myles Garrett just dropped. It's ridiculous. Deshaun Watson, I thought, was going to come in and be a very solid quarterback, but obviously with all of the situations and all of the massage stuff going on, he's not able to get over that mental block. There is a huge mental hurdle. He just tore his Achilles. There's a setback in his Achilles rehab. A lot of things are going very bad for Deshaun Watson. His career took a massive turn. He's a guy I like coming out of Clemson. Wanted the Cardinals to draft him back in, 2018 when he was available. So that is a guy I really liked. I thought he would bounce back. But obviously, all those allegations, and I'm not sitting here to say what he did was right, and obviously, I think we all know there is some truth to that. He definitely did some of that. Too many allegations, not for it to be true. A lot of people did drop it, but I'm going to stay out of that one. But Deshaun Watson, what he did off the field, not morally right. I thought on the field he would be a lot better, and that just did not happen whatsoever. The mental block is definitely there. You can tell his teammates kind of don't mess with him. I saw a clip of him getting knocked down, and one of his offensive linemen didn't go to help pick him up. So Deshaun Watson kind of ruined this franchise. They're stuck with a ton of guaranteed money. They gave draft capital to get him as well. Crazy situation. But let's go ahead and talk about Myles Garrett. We're not here to criticize Deshaun Watson. Someone could probably make a 12-hour video on that. But here was the official statement released today by Myles Garrett. He said, as a kid dreaming of the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, and the goal that fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. He has been there his entire career. This definitely hurts, but he understands that they are not in a position to compete. There's no way they turn this thing around. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It is always to been to compete for a Super Bowl and win that thing. With that in mind, I've requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Myles freaking Garrett. It is official! Now, whether the Browns trade this man or not is completely up to them. He is 29 years old. I think they would be stupid, and it would be a massive mistake not to capitalize on his draft value right now. It's only going to get worse as the season goes on. Just came off 14 sacks, and guess what? The man is in Defensive Player of the Year running every single year. You'd be crazy. This is your cap value that you're going to get for him. So go ahead and trade him and just start the rebuild. You're stuck with that Deshaun Watson contract. You don't want Myles Garrett to be 31 years old, not a decoy anymore, coming off a 14-sack season. You got to capitalize. And if you're Cleveland and you are a Cleveland Browns fan, I think you have to agree right here. You got to start this thing off on the right foot. You've got to avoid that Deshaun Watson contract. You've got to figure out how to get out of that. They're working on that actively as we speak. But again, he's 29 years old. This is actually something that's trending on X right now, is he is 29. A lot of people didn't realize he's that old, but the play on the field stands. The dude is a freak of nature, one of the best athletes in the entire league. I mean, look at how freaking massive he is. Pause, but the dude's arms are freaking huge. They're boulder shoulders. Dude's got insane physique, and the play on the field is just absolutely insane. He's a game wrecker, one of the best defensive players in the league. This would be the number 2 guy I want behind Max Crosby. Now, that doesn't look like it's possible. This is very possible. Cardinals need to pivot. It's not very often that a Defensive Player of the Year candidate or a former Defensive Player of the Year comes out and requests a trade. We need help on the line. Myles Garrett fits that perfectly. Now, he has to want us, and we have to want him. We have to be able to willingly give up draft capital. I don't know if Monty Ossenfort's going to do that. That is a tough one. It hasn't been in his culture yet. He likes to pick and stick. That's basically what he does, and he does a pretty decent job at that. But this is a guy that comes in and immediately gives you impact, and a lot of Cardinals players would probably love him. One of those guys is Mack Wilson, who has been advocating for a lot of guys. Max Crosby as well. As soon as the trade news went public, this is what Mack Wilson tweeted. Just a little popcorn bucket. You could tell he's very interested. He's actively making it known that we want Myles Garrett. Yes, we do. Would be a game wrecker. Bring him on to Arizona. We would absolutely take that. This would completely change the defense. This would completely change the team, and it would show we're going all in. If we can pull off a Myles Garrett trade too, that would attract a lot more people to come play for this team. And we have a lot of holes that need addressed, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Go get a talent like Myles Garrett. Go ahead and draft whoever you got to draft and bring some free agents in. We can pivot and we can shake up this team insanely. We need another inside linebacker. We need help on the defensive line. We need an edge. Myles Garrett could fill that spot and be a great run stopper. We could be in a good position. BJ Ojulari might come in and step into his own. Who knows at the end of the day? The Cardinals can really revamp this thing, and it starts right here. And how do we get to Myles Garrett? Let me tell you. This is the package that I would probably send and be comfortable sending with all of the guys that I've mentioned so far. So obviously Myles Garrett would be coming to the Arizona Cardinals. We don't need anything else besides Myles Garrett. So yeah, we take him, take the freaking defensive player of the year, and we give you guys our 2025 first round pick, which is number 16. That is a very solid pick. It might get worse next year, so I don't know if you take that chance or not. Then we also have a 2026 third round pick. And this is something where, you know, he's 29 years old. A lot of people might not be willing to throw this in there, but I would. He's a defensive player of the year. Like I said, I'm going to say it once again, former defensive player of the year. Always in the running, 14 sacks. Ridiculous football player, transforms his football team. So if I have to give up a first round and a third to get him, I think I'm willing to do that. And this is trying to be, like, this is me trying to be rational. I'm trying to understand, why would Cleveland trade him? You know, I have to rebuild. I need to get picks. This is one of the best players in the league. I got to get capital. And you get a first round pick at 16, and then you also get a third round pick next year, which is pretty valuable for one of the best. I mean, you might be able to fetch a first and a second if you're Cleveland. He is that dang good. I don't really know. I think a lot of teams would be willing to give up a first and a second. Like, he's a guy that is very coveted along the league, and the fact that he's available, a lot of teams are going to pick up the phone, and they're going to want him. And the Cardinals should be in the running for that. And if they're not, I'm going to be very disappointed, because this is somebody that I have been preaching for so dang long. It's Micah Parsons, it's Max Crosby, and it was Myles Garrett all along. If you guys tune into Mike's stream or AZ Sports Fan, you guys know this is what I've been talking about. Need these three names. If we can land one, we're going to be in a very good spot. A move like this would help us get to the right direction. This is a game-changing, franchise-changing, altering move. Gotta make it. Monty Ossenfort, please, please, please just pull the trigger, rip the Band-Aid off, don't pick and stick this year, and just go get Myles Garrett. Thank you. And this is a guy who's not even seeking an extension like a Max Crosby or a Micah Parsons either. This is a guy under contract for the next 2 seasons to at least 31 years old. So we would be in a very good spot right now, and this would help us get to a Super Bowl or a potential playoff berth and help us go long term. And also, sorry for the blurry picture, but Myles Garrett and Kyler Murray played at Texas A&M in 2015. They've been pretty close since, and yeah, I mean, this would be a move that would be pretty dang good. This would be a good culture move, I think. I think we got to do it. Go get the man that swings helmets on people, man. This would be great if the Cardinals can pull this off. Let me know how you guys would feel down in the comment section below. If you don't think the Cardinals are realistic, what team do you think he's going to go to? Do you think the Browns even trade him in the first place? I want to know all the options. I want you guys to be brutally honest. Drop those comments. And if you guys are new to the channel and ended up enjoying today's video, man, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content just like this. So if you're a fan of that, perfect channel for you. But like I said, man, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.